He's just still a little bit sore, and we're at a point we know what we have there, and I just want to make sure when we come back Monday, he feels really fresh and ready to go with, a good week of work and then getting into preparation for San Diego State. I don't want any of his soreness lingering on.
Keith Price said he didn't feel this team was even close. How are you feeling so far? After today,
I thought we were a little sloppy. I think we've had a really good 2 weeks of work. I think that we've really pushed a lot of our younger players to the forefront of this thing, and they made some plays again today. Now we got to get to where our consistency's right, our sense of urgency's right, and we minimize some of those mistakes that can hurt us, especially offensively, and then as well as defensively. Some of the fidgeting at the line of scrimmage, not getting lined up, a few of the holds that occurred early on. That's playing football. We just got to get used to playing football the right way. So I think we have plenty of room for improvement. I like the work that we've put in. We still see a lot of the playmaking ability on a lot of these kids, which we saw today. But if we want to be elite, like I think we can be, we got to minimize those mistakes and the kind of sloppiness that kind of reared its ugly head at times today.
Is there anything else between now and you got 2 weeks now till you play a game that you really want to get done between now and then?
Continuing these game-like situations, to where we're subbing from the sidelines, the personnel groupings are on and off. We pride ourselves on playing fast, even though we're not no huddle. We play fast. We weren't playing fast yet today, so we got to get used to those mechanics of really doing it from the sidelines, and I think we can now. We've grown up enough to where the young guys, we don't have to run out with them when they break the huddle. We don't have to stand behind the young corners and tell them what the call is and what to do. So it's letting them be on the field and having to rely on one another and talk to one another and fix some of the issues on the field that they need to get fixed without us when we're not out there with them. And so that's what we need to get done really between now and then to the mock game on Friday. When we go over to CenturyLink, my goal is for that thing to be really crisp, us to be humming, personnel grouping, subbing in and out, getting our kickers' legs back a little bit. They're a little fatigued too. That's why we held those guys for the most part today as well. So that we're fresh come Friday, we're feeling good about ourselves, and then the implementation of the game plan for San Diego State starting Saturday.
Is some of that stuff more of an issue this year because you got some more young guys at some spots, or?
I think it's fairly consistent from how camp normally goes. Obviously, when you're playing two true freshman wide receivers as much as we are with Jadon and Kendall, it is one of the issues that we're dealing with. But to those kids' credit, they study their tails off. They weren't perfect today, but they want to be, which is what's cool about it. They're not accepting lining up wrong and then next play making a play. They want to be right every snap, and that's what's unique about them. So let's keep working with them.
Shaq got a lot of work with the first-team defense today. How do you see his role shaping up right now?
Hey, look great. He's healthy. He feels good. We're doing a lot more nickel stuff than we have. Again, it's about putting your best 11 on the field, that we can. And we think he's one of those 11 guys, and so we're just trying to find a role for him. We obviously saw him on the kick return today as well. He's just a dynamic football player, and what I've been impressed with about him has been his ability to really learn the defense, even with having sitting out there for a few days. He's a very bright football player. He's got a very high football IQ. And then he applies it when he goes and plays, and he plays with a very physical mentality, and obviously the closing speed is evident.
And maybe give young receivers not always knowing where they need to be at all times. Would that prevent you from playing them in that first game, or is it their playmaking skills enough where you got to find a way to get them out there?
Well, I think what will happen come Saturday is right now they've got the whole the bulk of the playbook that's getting thrown at them, and they really don't know what's coming. When we get into actual game plan mode and you have a game plan and it's scaled down and those are the plays you rep for the entire week, I'm pretty confident they'll be okay. And the plan is to play them. So I feel like they'll perform better. They're getting a lot right now, which is okay. It's good for them. But I really think when it pairs itself down and this is what we're running for a game, that they'll respond well.
This might be asking too much or to divulge too much, but could you conceive of starting a season with 5 defensive backs? That's your base?
Oh, easily. I think so much of football, we see so much opened up sets. You know, I mean, the I formation is not that it's extinct, but we see so much more three wide receiver set looks that's almost the norm. And the unique thing that Shaq brings, the versatility he brings, is he's 230 pounds. So granted, he's a DB, but he's bigger than a lot of linebackers at 230 already as a freshman. So he can almost play as a hybrid nickel, and then play somewhat of a backer versus some of those sets he was doing today. And we can blitz him. He's got great speed coming off the edge. And so, again, I would think that's definitely a reality.
So where would you list him right now? I mean, he played the nickel today, which is at linebackers.
We wanted to get extensive look at that today. When we get some of our linebackers back healthy, you'll see him back more, playing a true safety spot. But because of where we're at and getting our best guys on the field, that's what we're doing with him.
Would maybe you'd be doing that anyway, or does the issue with linebacker make you want to do
that
a little bit more?
Forced our hand a little bit more, you know, and then we didn't have him either, and then we got him back. It was, you know, what can we get him to learn, and what's going to be the most versatile defense for us if we're playing a team that's a base offense versus a spread offense. How do we keep our best guys on the field? And right now that feels right.
We saw DeAndre last year make a few steps in the fall camp and then early, and then he kind of took a step back a little bit. Is he finding that consistency more where he could be out there a little bit more?
I think so. You know, the cool thing about DeAndre is he knows every receiver spot. You know, all three spots he can play it. Even when we go to four wides, he knows that four spot. And those types of guys are valuable because they can go in at any time and fill in for guys. And we're seeing him just kind of make plays. It's a bit unassuming, and you look up and he has 3 or 4 catches on the day. And you have to have those guys to be a good offensive football team, and he provides that for us.
One of the focal points has been the defense needing to be improved. How do you feel they did today?
Well, it was good. They were good up front. You know, I thought Shelton, Shirley, those guys did a nice job again. You know, Samisi Tokalahi has really come on here the last week. He's just getting better and better and better, more comfortable. I would say the same for John Timu. Obviously, Shaq's playmaking ability, being out there, helps. We still have some guys we want to get back, and it looks like we'll get them back Monday. And Justin Glenn, Travis Feeney, the versatility they provide us there. And we got to solidify our other corner spot. It's still not to where we want it to be. We know what True is and what he's going to bring for us. We just got to, we want somebody to take over that other corner spot, and we need to make that happen.
So when Travis comes back, he'll be at linebacker still? Or?
Yeah, no, he'll be there. We'll see what the rotation looks like when he gets back.
Steve, with Tokalahi, the guy that we saw in the Apple Cup 2 years ago, how close is he to being that guy?
I don't know exactly what how close. This is as close as he's been since that injury. He looks the best that he's looked. His weight is down. I think he's around the 330, 335 range, where he was up near almost 350 there for a while, dealing with the injury. So he's getting in better shape. His suddenness is coming back. And all those things are huge for us. When we start playing those bigger teams, the teams that want to pound the football, when you can get Shelton and Tokalahi in there playing side by side, that's a pretty big two good inside guys that can take some of the heat off of Timu and those guys and let them go make their plays.
How crucial is it for Danny's development to find that second guy alongside him?
Well, it's big, and then to in the other sets and the other defenses have a guy that can spell him, to where he's not having to play 75 snaps a game. That gets hard, and then what happens to those guys is they try to save themselves and they don't play to the best of their ability every snap. So whether it's Tokalahi, Lagafuena, I believe, is getting better. One of those guys, we're going to need to spell him in some sets, but also play side by side with him in versus some of the bigger sets we get.
Is Demora still just waiting to have surgery then?
Yes. Yeah.
And Deontay Cooper, did he have his surgery?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
You said Shaq's 230. Did he play that last year, or did he gain some weight between now and then?
I don't know off the top of my head what he was in high school. I mean, he was always a bigger kid. I don't know exactly. I think on his recruiting trip here, he was about 220, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a hair bigger than that.
Because the baseball summer changed his weight.
I don't think so. He's actually put on weight since he's been here with us. I think the lifting's helped him.